Welcome back to Vision on TV, and today we're going to talk about open data cities. What is an open data city?
An open data city is a community where usually publicly accountable organisations, but others, private or publicly funded, release all the data that they possibly can in an open, machine-readable format with no licensing restrictions. The purpose of this is to do two things. One is, because largely it's our data anyway, if I live in Brighton and Hove as I do, then I've contributed either to the expense of collating, collecting and curating that data, or actually it is my data, and it's the city's data.
Where is this data currently?
The data sits in all sorts of organisations and institutions. The focus of Open-data Brighton and Hove is initially Brighton and Hove City Council. There is a lot of data locked away, whether it's in PDFs, whether it's just nowhere public, that can be published in a machine-readable format. And then the development community and the wider public can see what data is available and can build something cool with it.
What do you imagine people doing with this data?
I first left print journalism for the internet in 94, 95, and if I'd have been trying to, in a world where there were 640 websites in the world, and built a website about football results, if in 2004, in 1994, 95, I could not have imagined or talked to anyone about HTML, building websites that could become what, Amazon, eBay, Google, whatever. And similarly, it's very difficult to talk about where we're going. But the example, if people need a concrete example, might be, for instance, a transport system in a city that it comprises what? Buses, railways, taxis, cycle lanes. That data sits in different, is locked away and sits in different organisations, and sometimes is just thrown away. But you can imagine if all that data was published openly, there are developers and technologies around that would build, yes, the transport app to end all transport apps, the integrated transport app.
So, for example, we might discover that actually everyone in their private cars is actually destroying the city, and maybe more buses would actually solve the problem.
Brighton and Hove is famously, since May the 5th, the first local authority city council where the Green Party has the largest number of seats. But fundamentally, we're all green anyway these days. And so, yes, if it makes the bus system more efficient and surfaces the user journeys of individual passengers, then that informs where the bus routes go and the pricing of it. It also informs how the single parent on a council estate in the periphery of the city trying to balance school transport with a job with shopping can actually get around the city. It's not just for the elite middle classes who have an iPhone 4 app.
Okay, I'm still struggling to see how this manifests. So we have all this data which is currently locked up in proprietary systems owned by our governments, and you can then publish it in open formats, and then people will use the data to do... I'm still struggling. What would they do? Well,
one of the examples that I've used this morning at OpenTech is the digital roadmap just been produced by Rachel Stern in New York. New York has a 311 non-emergency service. Wherever you are in New York, if you've got a need and a problem that isn't an emergency, you get in touch either by phone, SMS, email, Twitter, whatever you like, all sorts of routes in, to the 311 service that meets your needs. Fantastic citizen customer service. But by actually picking up that phone or sending that tweet, you are giving and releasing data. Minute by minute, hour by hour, you're reflecting back to the city the needs of the city as individuals or aggregated citizens, and therefore you are helping inform a possible solution to meet wider needs. A lot of people don't have a voice, but the data we generate gives us a voice. If someone's listening to that voice by studying and using the data, we can build the sort of future that quite literally is unimaginable at the moment.
Because, yeah, okay. Well, if people want to find out more about this, how can they find out more?
Open-data Brighton and Hove has a hashtag ODBH, or you can follow at Open-data Cities on Twitter, or you can email Greg Hadfield at hotmail.com.
Okay, fantastic. All right, thank you very much. And we're going to come up with another show, which we're not sure what it's about, but we'll soon know.
Thank you.